All right. I'm going to start out by asking you guys a question too, because I want you to get used to the chat session. I want to know what your favorite holiday dish is. I know
Oh,
it's so hard, right? But we all have that one staple that we just have to have. And if we don't have it, it's not Thanksgiving. It's not Christmas. There might be one or two. You can do, oh, pecan pie. That's a good one. Julie, do you add oils to it? No.
good idea.
I have to think about what we could add to that. Ooh, sweet
Yeah.
casserole. Cinnamon bark would be good in that. Oh, homemade rolls. Yes.
You steak and
Steak and
shake
shake. So,
for
Marcia,
the rolls.
tell your story at the end. How's that? Mind you to tell you. Stuffing. Yes, I cannot have a holiday dinner without stuffing. And I have a special thing to talk about that when we get started. Okay, so I am going to share my screen. And I'm not good at this, so bear with me if I mess up. Okay, we're going to share this and share. Okay, can everybody see that? And is it big or small? We're good? Okay, all right. So obviously we are talking about holiday cooking today. And where's my cursor? If you don't know, my name is Christy and I love to cook, period. And a couple years ago, I started experimenting with cooking with my oils, and I just found a whole new realm of possibilities. Um, my very first, not my very first, because I cook Thanksgiving all the time, but I was home alone and it was literally just me and my dogs. I should have put that picture up here. I cooked all of my dishes all with oils. I did not use one dried herb. Is that not crazy? Of course it's crazy, but I did it. And I learned a lot from it. Digize. We all need digize. Come, come the holiday season. We all eat too much. We all want all the goodness. So keep these two on hand. Digize, tummy jize for the little ones. So I don't want you to think this is all about cooking. We're practical here too, people. We've got to have the digize. All right, this, you guys have seen it before if you've been in our classes. This is a general measuring guide for your oils. Don't use it to heart. So if something calls for a tablespoon and you see 2 drops, but you're like, I really like rosemary, don't be afraid to add more, but do it slowly. Oregano, you're not going to want more than 1 drop. But the others, you might. I love black pepper. So I will tend to be heavy on the black pepper. It's all about your taste. Just remember, just like our diffuser blends, we want to start slow and add more. Also, little caveat here, all the oils when I'm talking about food we are going to be talking about the vitality oils. Those are our vitality blend. They are labeled for dietary use and consumption. So we are good to go there. That's my little disclaimer. All right, tips and tricks. Oils, they can, I don't want to say they go bad, but you want to store them properly, especially when you are using the citrus oils for your cooking. They're great to keep in the fridge. You want to keep the lids tight, but not too tight. I have made the mistake of making them too tight, and the citrus oils can crack your lids. Nobody wants that, because once you let the air in, that's when they start to oxidize and they can maybe not taste quite right. So you want to make sure you handle them well. Okay, let's start cooking. Who likes to snack when they cook? Me. And the cheese crack is a perfect thing to make when you are cooking for the holidays. Everybody's typing cheese crack. This is the best. And what's great is I have a recipe for it. Marcia has a recipe for it. Andrea has a recipe for it. These are not hard, set and fast recipes. You can add to them, you can take away, make it your own. Don't be afraid to change up recipes. I would add rosemary and thyme to this recipe. That's just me. So next, everybody's now starting to come to the house. You're in the middle of cooking. It's chaotic. These are two of my favorite oils to diffuse during the holidays, Gathering and Harmony. The words explain what they do. So these are two of my favorite to have on hand and diffuse as people start arriving to the house and things start getting a little crazy. Next up, the turkey. Who likes to season their turkey with an injector? I don't know, a lot of people do that. A lot of people use a brine. I'm a fan of a brine, and I will use a lot of these same oils in a brine. I literally just drop the oils into the saltwater mixture along with fresh lemons, fresh limes, however you like to flavor your turkey. Get it under that skin. Use some, you started brining last year, yeah, it makes such a difference. It makes it so moist. It's delicious. But these are just showing you different ways that you can use your oils while you're cooking. And next up, who likes to do a ham instead of turkey? Anybody? It depends. I'm a turkey girl myself, but we all know the traditional is to have some clove, all the little cloves stuck in your turkey. Well, what if, or your turkey, sorry, your ham. What if you don't have those? Use your clove oil. Make a glaze. And there you go. You've got the flavor without having to stick every single one of those little prickly guys all over your ham. There we go. Who said they wanted sweet potato casserole? Andrea, have you tried this recipe-ish? Have you ever added oils to yours?
I've never used oils with mine, and this recipe is definitely very different than mine because I don't use vanilla syrup. Mine is almost like a sweet potato pie without the crust, with the brown sugar and pecans on top. But I could totally pull in the Vitality oils, and I need to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my mom and I, she's in charge of the sweet potatoes every year, and it's similar to this, not with the syrup, but I might have her actually try this recipe this year because it's very, very similar except for just a few things. But man, that lemon really brightens up the dish and it's not overpowering. And
I would never have thought about putting lemon into the sweet potato casserole. That's really good to know.
It just brightens it. It does not make it lemony. It's really weird, but it's, yeah, you would not really know it's in there other than it just kind of brightens the flavor. Kind of like when you have something that's not bland, but you add a little salt and it just brightens it up. Lemon can do the same thing. And with it being the oil, you're not getting that crazy acidic lemon flavor. You're just getting the bright notes from it. And of course, cinnamon bark, because we all love cinnamon on our sweet potatoes. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of cornbread dressing. I like the traditional. I dry my own bread in the oven overnight on low. I do all the things from scratch. But how many of you use this? Poultry seasoning. Sorry, it's backwards. Do you know what the ingredients are in poultry seasoning? Thyme, sage, marjoram, rosemary, black pepper, and nutmeg. We have all of those oils. And yes, I make my stuffing without this. I use all oils. I saw Cindy, what? That was hilarious. I love that. Thank you for that. Yes. My tip here, I also use a lot of butter. My Thanksgiving is not healthy. I put my oils in the butter. This is my biggest tip, you guys. When you're using your oils, you want to add them to a liquid. So picture having all of your breadcrumbs in your casserole dish and just dropping oils on it. That one cube that picked up that sage is going to pick up all that sage. Where if you put your oils into your butter, mix it up, whisk it up, taste it, see if you have that flavor-ish, then pour it over your cubes, it's going to spread evenly and it's going to be so amazing. It's I can't even explain. It tasted just like it, but I wasn't using, I don't know about you guys, but this little one, I would go through more than one because I like that sage. I like that flavor and I want it to be pungent, I guess is a good word. So it's just really cool. And if you don't like it, mix it with just a little bit more butter, add it on. You can always use more butter, right? Or add it into, I use chicken stock or bone broth. You can also add the oils in there. So if adding, actually I would do that backwards now that I'm saying that. I would do the broth first. Taste it. If it's not enough, add more into your butter when you put it over. So add them into your liquids. If you're making something like a pie and you're whisking your eggs, put them into your eggs. So you always want to do it in a liquid so that way it'll spread out evenly among your dish. Mashed potatoes. My favorite is black pepper and rosemary in my mashed potatoes. I mix it into my butter and into my sour cream. And then I plop it in there. I do, of course, still add regular pepper. I like the flecks that you can see through it. But rosemary and black pepper essential oil give your mashed potatoes just that extra oomph. I highly suggest you try it. This is one of my favorite recipes. This is an easy one. You do glazed carrots or you do Brussels sprouts or you do green beans, whatever vegetable you like to do. Like I was saying earlier, that little bit of lemon can help brighten the whole thing. So don't be afraid to just play around. Okay, this is my signature dish. I am in charge of bringing the cranberry sauce every year. There is no canned stuff in this house. If you walk through my door with a canned cranberry, I'm going to tell you to leave. Okay, I might not tell you to leave, but I'm going to tell you to leave the can outside. This is a healthier version. I have in my notes kind of what I do because I use the simple syrup method with the water and I use half regular sugar and half brown sugar. That's my preference. I might try it with the cranberry juice this year, but still using the sugar that I do. I don't know. I might kick it up this year, but I'm a fan of almost all the citrus. I use jade lemon, I use lime, I use lemon, I use orange, and the flavor is just, I love it. If you haven't tried it, if you're not a cranberry sauce fan, I highly suggest you try it. I have family members that are like, ugh, cranberry sauce, disgusting. Don't even put it near my plate. They will eat mine because it's so good. And it's sweet, but it's not terribly sweet because those citrus oils just kind of balance it out. This, again, one of my favorite dishes, gravy. Okay, I'm going to be flat out honest with you here. I will not make this recipe. I know some people like to do it this way. I am a fan of, I wait until that turkey's out of the oven. I take the roasting pan, I put my potato water, I save that water from the potatoes so it has that starch in it. And I'm getting all those bits off the bottom of the pan. I'm using the cornstarch and water and then bringing it to a boil to thicken it up. I'm an old-fashioned gravy girl. I'm also in charge of it. Nobody else in my family will make it. But I do add rosemary. I do add black pepper. I do add a little sage, and I do add a little thyme. And it is, again, absolutely phenomenal. Yes, it's going to boil. Yes, you are not going to have the therapeutic properties of the essential oils at that point. The high heat is going to make those properties go away, but that's okay because we're going for the flavor here for this. But in your gravy, oh, you guys, it is just, it is so good. I'm hungry. Is anybody else hungry? This is killing me. So this is one that I absolutely love. I make it from the juices. I don't use it the way that they do. They do talk about the einkorn flour here. If you don't have einkorn flour when you're looking at any of these recipes, that's okay. Use whatever flour you have on hand. Whatever you have is going to work. At the end, also, Marcia, this is your reminder. because I talk about butter and stuff a lot in here, and I know you have dairy-free options. So when we get to the end, you can plug that in for us, please. All right, it's now time to eat. It is time for gratitude. We're all around the table. It is time to diffuse some gratitude to bring us all together and happy. Oh, good. Other people do want. Ooh, dairy-free sour cream. I'm interested. Now it's time for dessert, you guys. Pumpkin pie. All of these spices we have in an oil. Try it. Do you see a theme here? Try it. Don't be afraid to try. I know we're so used to using the dried spices, but you guys, you have these at your fingertips. I'm sure some of these you've probably gotten as free oils on Essential Rewards, and maybe you haven't used them. Use them. Cider, one of my favorite things to make. I like to make it in the crock pot so it stays warm all day long and people can just go get a cup whenever they want it and sip it down. It's great. Again, you can add whatever oils you like. If you like orange, add orange. If you like more cinnamon bark, add more cinnamon bark. It's gonna be spicy on the lips, so be careful. And of course, we can't not mention the brownies when we're talking about cooking. This recipe is a little bit different. It does include an icing, which normally when we talk about you making our brownies, we're just talking about adding the oils directly into moonshine. I like the way you think. I love the chat. I know I'm missing a lot, but that word moonshine like caught my eye. All right. So a few other things that you can do with your oils. Now that we're done cooking the big feast, you can make flavored butter. You can make flavored salt. The salt, one of my, you know how we've talked about, sorry, excuse me, using our oils, our oil bottles, opening them up and putting them in Epsom salts for bath soaps. You can do the same thing to make flavored salts. Get a little tub of your pink Himalayan or whatever salt that you like to use, open up your empty bottles, put them in there, and you can have a wonderful flavored salt to flavor your foods. Another good one for that is rosemary. Rosemary salt is good on anything. You can flavor your oils. Obviously, you can flavor your water. There are a million different things that you can do in the kitchen with your oils. I'm not going to go over the rest of these because we're already coming up on about a half an hour, but I did include some things in here, some snacks, some protein bars. You're going to be getting this in a PDF, by the way, you guys. Pumpkin spice latte, which is always great for breakfast. This is one of my favorites. I will talk about this real quick. That leftover cranberry sauce, you can make this into a topping for your French toast the next morning. So good. So good. And this was a chocolate mousse. My parents actually made this not too long ago. And I know you're seeing avocados in there. It's a healthy chocolate mousse, you guys. You will never know. And of course, homemade hot cocoa. And at the end, I included a couple of graphics that have a million different diffuser recipes that you can use, including the vanilla. Everybody wants the vanilla. Everybody's raving about the vanilla. I will say I was one of the lucky ones. I got to order vanilla the day that it was released before the incident. It is amazing. It smells amazing on its own. Paired with other things, it is absolutely just phenomenal. This will not be one that you want to cook with. I just want to let you know that. It doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't taste good. It is not going to be your typical vanilla flavor. Although if you taste vanilla on its own, just on you, it's not good either. I might experiment. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, it is made from the beans, but it is not meant to cook with. It is meant to diffuse, and it smells amazing. Look for it to be re-released on November 9th. Here's your reminder. So put that on your calendars. And then just some other winter diffuser recipes for you. And we are going to have a little chat session here in a minute. But our next class is next Wednesday. And it is going to be all about helping your emotions when they get cray-cray over the holidays. Today, we focused on the positive. but we always know that there's kids running around and screaming and we want to calm them down. We're going to grab that peace and calming. We're going to grab that stress away. But we are going to have a totally candid, unrecorded chat session where you can ask us whatever you want. We will answer you and we will hang out and have fun. So that is it for my main presentation. And, or do you, wait, keep recording for a minute so we can talk about Marsha's dairy-free options. And I will stop sharing my screen.
So I will take whatever questions you have, but I will share a few of our favorite substitutes. So quite frankly, Thanksgiving has been a struggle meal for our family ever since we moved away from our family and we've lived on our own, because Faith and I don't particularly like turkey. And Gene pretty much ate the turkey, the hot rolls, and the dressing. He doesn't eat the mashed potatoes. Gene and Faith don't eat the gravy. So you get the idea, like it was like a struggle. So one of the things, and maybe this will free some of you guys, is that we decided when we moved away from our family after being at home for 12 years and moving where we didn't have family and friends, is that we just threw tradition out of the window and we did whatever worked for us. And now we've been doing that for many, many years. So I would encourage you that if you're doing the same thing but not really enjoying it, don't do that. Find something that you do enjoy. So my substitutes are just things that I have found as our family has become more, well, part of us are completely dairy-free and other ones are partially dairy-free. So this isn't exactly sour cream, but there is a vegan cream cheese at Trader Joe's that is excellent. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a really nice substitute. So some of this might depend upon what you're making, and you may have to decide which substitute works the best for that. And Andrea, if you need a picture of that later, let me know. You may also not realize that this is a garlic spread from Trader Joe's that has a real creamy consistency that's dairy-free. So you could totally use this in a mashed potato as well. My preference on butter are the melt sticks. If you can't find those, you can use the Country Crock plant-based sticks. And then if you're looking for a different consistency, I find it really hard to find. The non-flavored dairy-free yogurts are a really nice kind of consistency for that creamy dairy. But don't buy vanilla by mistake, because you don't want vanilla yogurt in your recipes. You want plain dairy-free yogurt, and you've got to look pretty hard to find those. So those were just some of my quick dairy-free tips. I don't want to take up a lot of time in case that doesn't apply to a lot of people, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you for sharing that. And I actually have put cream cheese in my mashed potatoes before when I've run out or didn't have sour cream, so that I can see how that could be a good substitution for even sour cream in your mashed potatoes.
And you mentioned something, melt sticks?
So it's a brand. It's a brand called Melt, at M-E-L-T.
Okay.
And I don't think I have a box. I think I just have a stick. The box is red and it's like with the margarine butter sticks, but the Melt has the best butterish flavor. And the Country Crocks, you can kind of depend upon, like they have an olive based one. So, you know, kind of depending on what you're making, whether that would work for you or not.
Okay. Thank you.
And when you say work for you, does that mean it doesn't set or doesn't build or doesn't firm, or what happens?
I would say it has more to do with the flavoring. Okay. So like if I'm making bread and I don't really want any extra flavoring from the oils at all, I would use a melt. If I do a lot of salmon and asparagus in like a lemon butter. Usually for that, I try really hard to use the melt because I want it to taste as much like butter as possible. So those are two great ones. I would suggest if you're at the store to buy both a country crock and a melt and kind of tweak around with them and play around with them and see what it's. Dairy free is just a little difficult in that, yes, you can find dairy free recipes, but I think it's actually easier to incorporate in your life if you know what you like to eat and you figure out how to make that dairy free.
Okay.
So I
Thank you.
just was at a friend's house yesterday and I had never seen this before, but it had a Trader Joe's label on it that there is a Trader Joe's goat cheddar cheese. And I'm like, because when I make my mashed potatoes, it has cheddar cheese in it. So this is the first year that I will be dairy free for our holiday meals. And I was already kind of going, oh, how do I do that? So I want to try their goat cheddar cheese ahead of time and see how it is. Brian tasted a little bit of it. It made a gooey grilled cheese sandwich. So that was encouraging to me.
I love goat chease.
Yeah.
I do
so-
too, but I've never seen a goat cheddar chease like
No,
that.
me neither.
It has a very different flavor than cheddar cheese. So
Yeah.
I'm very interested.
So goat cheese is actually dairy free.
Mhm.
Okay. That's
it's
all
goat
we
milk.
eat, and I didn't know.
I guess it depends on your, I mean, it's milk, but it's from a goat, not a cow. So technically it's cow dairy free.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with goat cheese. Other people, like vegans, may say, oh, no, not doing that because it still comes from an animal.
Right.
So they would do a vegan cheese option, which I haven't found any that I like, just being
Okay.
honest.
Gotcha.
Good to know. Learning
And-
so much.
Rhonda did type in the comments that Kite Hill has a sour cream substitute.
Awesome.
Kite Hill. Okay.
Andrea, I saw that you asked about the brine and which together. Did you mean oils?
No, actually, that kind of pulled two different things. So
Okay.
Marcia was asking about which oils to diffuse together. I was asking, how do you thicken your cranberry sauce? Because I need your secret for that. Mine is always too
Oh,
raw.
so when you do the sugar, you want to do equal parts of sugar and water. So if you do a cup of water, you want to do a cup of total sugar. So I would do a half a cup of white sugar and a half a cup of brown sugar. And once you boil it and those cranberries start to pop, cranberries have a natural gelatin in it, so it will thicken on its own.
Why doesn't mine work?
I don't know, because yeah, I don't put any thickening agent in mine. I don't put any cornstarch or anything in there. It's literally just water, cranberries. Is it watery or is it just not as thick of a gelatin as you'd like?
It's not as thick of a gelatin as I would like.
So what I would tell you to do, it is, because I don't know how many pounds of the cranberries you're using, add more cranberries.
Okay.
So
Good
you
suggestion,
don't
thank
want
you.
the liquid, when you put the cranberries in the pot, you don't want them covered. Like if these are your cranberries, you don't want the water up here. You want it like here. That makes sense?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And Marcia had the question about the diffusing together.
Did you say you diffuse them together or you just diffuse them? I missed that.
The harmony and
The ones on the first of the slide. You had
which
two, right?
were- I
You
did.
had two together?
No, they were just two suggestions, which were the most.
Okay, I thought maybe you diffuse them together. I thought maybe I heard that. And so I'm always curious what, it's easy to
No,
blend your
so-
singles into your blends, but it's not
Right.
always easy to blend your blends.
No. So I was just talking, sorry, let me clarify. Yep. I was talking about gathering and harmony. both of them are good separately. If you were to add anything, I would hold up like maybe an orange next to one of them and do the nose test. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but if you take your tops off of two oils that you're not sure if they will work well together, take your tops off and just go under your nose as you sniff, and you either like it or you don't. So no,
I like to do that off of the caps versus off of the bottles because
either way,
you get different notes
yes,
off of the
yes,
bottles.
Absolutely.
I will give a plug for Harmony. I am a huge fan of Harmony essential oil, particularly if you have any situations that you need to be more harmonious with those groups of people. Diffusing Harmony is wonderful any time of year, but particularly on the holidays. I totally, and you could even do Harmony with a pine and add in that fall aspect of it, or Harmony with a cinnamon. That would be good
cinnamon,
as well.
yeah.
But I would do the blend of the single.
I gravitate towards like the gratitude and all that because they're the tree oils, and I just love the tree oils, and I just find it so relaxing, especially this time of year. I did a lot of the tree oils.
Yeah, I have literally Sacred Mountain is right here. Sacred Mountain is another wonderful oil for this time of year, particularly, and a lot of great benefits to that.
I was just going through. I don't think I missed any other questions, but
nope.
I'm loving these suggestions for the addition to the cider there. Crown Royal apple. I bet that would be good.
That's what I'm saying. Crown Royal apple is, but apple pie moonshine knocks it out of the park. I'm with Judy. Apple pie moonshine, #1 option.
I'm sure I can.
Do you have steak for Christmas? Julie, you have steak for Christmas?
We do, because our family are not ham, but so we have turkey for Thanksgiving, ham for Easter, and we all agreed on steak on the green egg.
I love hearing these different traditions that people have.
We do either steak or prime rib, but Christmas Eve we do fondue, which is Brian's side of the family for their Finnish whatever. I mean, it just kind of came together. But you can absolutely incorporate your oils into your fondue, and we make homemade béarnaise sauce.
Oh yeah.
And we also do shrimp cocktail. So to put a little lemon in with your shrimp cocktail sauce, we make that from scratch just using horseradish and ketchup, but add a little lemon into that, lemon vitality. Awesome.
I'm seeing a sauce webinar.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And as I was going through I'm like, we need a breakfast webinar. Like casseroles that I do, like I do something every year before Christmas or for Christmas morning, and I always add oils into those. I'm like, in case you can't tell, Miss Marcia, Miss Steak and Shake, I love cooking Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners. Like I said, maybe I'll put on the PDF that you guys are all going to get the picture of me, because I'm single. I have me and my dogs. And there was one year where I just didn't feel like going anywhere. My parents are a couple hours away. I didn't feel like driving. They couldn't come up here. And I was like, well, dag on it. I am still having Thanksgiving. I cooked a turkey and all the fixings for me and my dogs. And I have a funny picture because I did take my dogs and put them they each had a chair at the table, like drooling at the turkey. And I'm like, now get down. I got my picture, and I get down.
I put that picture in my newsletter. It was so
Did you? Yes, I love cooking, especially for people. And when I get to introduce them to oils in the recipes, that's just a bonus.
Well, and I have to say, I almost love leftovers more than day of. And so I have a traditional sandwich.
Yep.
That is gluten-free bread on either side, mayonnaise on the bread, but then it is my mashed potatoes, my turkey, my cranberry sauce, my stuffing, and then the bread. So it's all on there, and it's literally a sandwich like this. Yeah. Oh, I have millions of pictures of it.
Okay, I want a picture.
Every year.
Amazing.
But
So, yeah.
think about that, how amazing the flavors will be the day after, because you have all of those flavors, steeping into all of your foods. I mean,
Yeah.
how many of you love a recipe more the second day than you do the first day? Chili being one of them. Chili is always
Yes.
better
Yeah.
second day.
Banana pudding. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm absolutely right there with you. I love
Cheryl, I'm glad you like my sandwich.
I loved
can't
teaching this
wait.
class. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys like the recipes, and we will get the PDF out to you guys. And yeah, I'm now ready to cook.
Bring on the holidays and let's decorate.
And I do get to cook for people this year, so I'm happy. All right, guys.
And just a reminder, next week's is not recorded. So we'll want you to join us live to talk about emotions or whatever else you want to talk
Whatever
about.
else you want. Oh, but
It's your class.
I have something in my hands right now, and let's plug this too. I'm sure some of you watching have seen Marsha and I's posts about beauty school that we both attended this past weekend. I happen to have Armorescence in my hand, which you cannot buy. You have to attend beauty school to get it. Tickets range from $150 to $50 to $15.
15.
15.
1-5.
Now, with 15, I don't think you get the Armorescence. You do at the $50 level. I will say Marsha and I got the $150 ticket. Everything that came in our kits, I'm not going to show you every single thing, but we got these cases, which are so cute. They say Young Living on them, obviously. Every case was different, but there was well over $300 worth of products in there for our ticket price. We got a sheer lume. They're going to change. Your products may change depending on your class, but we got sheer lume, and we got the art renewal serum. Those two alone are $150. We got a eyeshadow brush, 2 eyeshadows, a lip scrub, a
Lip balm.
peppermint
lip
face
gloss.
scrub, lip gloss. Yeah, we've got so much stuff. You got in the education that we got from it, learning techniques on putting the foundation on and stuff like that. If you have any interest in any of our skincare, not just the makeup portion, it's highly, highly worth it, especially even if you just do the 15 and you can watch the class. It was so worth it. We learned a lot, and I highly suggest it. But this, you guys, Marsha and I, we had never smelled it before, and we both opened the bottles at the same time on a Zoom call with each other, and we smelled it. There are no words.
And we rein in our goofiness when we're teaching classes. But let me just tell you, our personal messages back and forth to each other,
we'd
we'd either get a comedy series or locked up.
And I want to add too that you guys said that you can watch this for 3 weeks following the event. So even if the date of the event doesn't work for you, you have the recorded aspect that you have access to for 3 full weeks.
Yes.
So definitely, absolutely worth it. I've been to an in-person event. You guys, I agree. It is so, so worth it. And what I have seen over and over and over again from anything that I have participated in with Young Living, they go above and beyond in just being so generous with the things that they include in whatever tickets you purchase, or when I've gone on, and Marsha has been on the Silver Retreat, I've been on Gold Retreat, they spoil you.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
This is one of the best smelling oils I have ever smelled. It is just, it's hard to even describe. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I will attend again just to get more Armorescence.
Well, and once you attend beauty school, you have the ability to purchase some things that others who have not attended beauty school don't have access to. So that's another benefit of attending a beauty
During
school.
the class, right?
No, even outside of the class. So there are spring,
didn't know
fall,
that.
winter, summer bundles, like different. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good to know. I don't think that I caught that tidbit. They probably said it and I totally missed it. Awesome. All right.
Tickets went on sale today and they will sell out quickly.
Yes.
And then in December, it's just going to be a view ticket. It'll be an $11 ticket, and it'll just be an education ticket with lots of giveaways.
Right.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's highly, highly worth it. And everyone's homework from this webinar is to play with your oils in the kitchen. Don't be afraid.
Thank you for equipping us, Christy. We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you guys for all attending. And we will see you next week.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.